Welcome back, everybody, to Let's Play Westerado. We find ourselves at the final of the main playthroughs. We have done Hero, Bro, and Sis, and so now it's time to be Indian, the professional axe slinger. As with the other characters, we get a bit of a perfunctory, get out of there, deputy cursor. We get a perfunctory intro, so, I mean, it's the same as always. Somebody burned down our ranch and murdered our family. We call them a White Walker, and we swear on our ancestors, but otherwise it's exactly the same. So, for this, there's a particular run of things that we're choosing to do. If you remember, as Sis, we played as somebody who sided with both the Tycoon and with the Indians, and that created a very interesting dynamic in which we basically completely overturned the power structures that existed in Westerado at the time. But this time, playing as the Indian, we're going to go for what I'm going to call the spaghetti western way of doing things. I keep pressing farther. There we go. Now he'll come with us. The spaghetti western style of doing things, which is we're going to side with the everybody that would normally be sided with in the course of a traditional western. That's going to be the sheriff in town, that's going to be the army, and that's going to be the ranchers, sort of the traditional good people. I'll take this one, why not? And there's a particular order to things that we're doing. That's a good one too. We're going to be also getting Miss Tress on our side this time, so we're talking to her. If you remember, we have to talk to her in all 4 locations, and we have to do it kind of early in order to make things happen for a number of reasons. There's a whole bunch of different ways that you can fail to woo Miss Tress, so to speak. You can make one of the other people that she would otherwise care for be too confident, too popular, too whatever, and she'll side with them. You can actually kill too many bandits, and then she'll decide that you're just a little bit too intense for her liking. And then finally, you can just reject her advances and not go after any flirtatious style language. So I'm just kind of clearing out the town and doing all the little incidental quests that I can find there. I'm going to go ahead and get the quest for the miner's hat, and I'm going to go... I think I'm actually going to hold off on the banker's quest for right now, but I'll get that in a little bit. That is for reasons. I'm not necessarily going to grab the miner's hat right away. My first real goal in this, after having done the Bring Home the Drunk Husband quest, is to get the Rancher Bob's quest and complete that, and do that with the help of the sheriff. Now, in order to actually go on the run, I'm going to want to get rid of the Indian's starting weapon, which is the tomahawk. The thing is slow, it makes you pause in place for a really long time. It's just not really an ideal weapon at all. And so, in order to expedite things, I'm going to buy the rifle from the gun shop over there. That thing takes 750 gold. Now, there's a number of ways I could do bounties and hunt down enough people until I got enough money. But what I'm actually going to do is just a quick little walkabout. And because, not that it wouldn't be interesting hearing me babble on about whatever as I go everywhere, but I think in order to expedite this, I am going to actually speed up the video here. So you will see this go into ultra fast mode, and I will catch you guys when that is done.
I ain't a country honky tonk gal. Though some would beg to differ, I got my roots in cowboy boots, and I wear my camo proud. But I ain't simply a country honky tonk gal. I wouldn't say I'm of the redneck way or in with the city crowd. I don't fit in with any of them, but I like my biscuits and my whiskey. Oh, but I ain't a country honky Tonkin gal. I like John Wayne and Johnny Cash and all the outlaws who've outlast. I must admit, at times I found good old Willie sexy. Now digging up bones, my first crush was on the voice of Randy Travis. I don't know, but I ain't a country honky tonk gal. Heck no, I ain't simply a country honky tonk gal. Yeah, I ain't simply a country.
And welcome back. Well, that was sure was a good bit of a gallivanting around there. Fortunately, we now have quite a bit of money, and we can get some free hats back. One from that guy, and if we really need it, we can get another miner's hat. But all that I really care about for now is that we have at least $750, so we can go to Miss Hat's store. Or, what is this? Miss Store's store, excuse me, yes. Alright. You think so? I'm not sure that is a Smith & Wesson 40 caliber. Yeah, fair enough. Let's go ahead and get a rifle. But you kind of have to take this slowly, because I've had a bug sometimes where if you don't go slow, then they'll just take your money and not actually give you the full thing. Also, I think it might be time to change up our look a little bit. I wonder who that glasses guy in the back is. I want the jacket and the shirt for 20, and I want the bandana for 10. There we go. I think we're looking super stylish now. Plus, we have the good old rifle. That'll see us through quite a bit of the things to come. As a matter of fact, let me do a few things here. Talk to this guy about the train ticket, and I get that, so I can completely fill myself up on free hats. Note that now that we have the rifle, we can get infinite free hats from Rancher Cobb, and we can start a shoot fight with him and get that. So we've got quite a bit of money even yet, 940 boon dollars, or whatever you want to call them, sticking around. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Well, there we go. Now we've got our miner's hat. I'll tell you what I'm going to do is stick them in the bank, because we're going to be going on... we are going to be going on some intense rides later. I actually am going to get 200 out. Yeah. And I don't want to lose all this is the idea. So let me get, just to be safe, let me get 300 out. Because I'm about to do one of the other things. Before I start any of the main quests, I'm kind of finishing up all the little side pieces here. And one of the other things that I hadn't done was, if you talk to the bartender, which is itself a quest, which we don't normally do because he's not super helpful, and you ask him in particular, we want to say about the raids. And certainly the ranchers are having trouble, and who did it? He says the guys playing cards might know. And since we haven't done that yet, let's go talk to these gents. Okay, I think I will. What is the card game, sir? 5-card draw poker. You know it. We don't need a refresher, so we're just gonna jump right in. And I think probably most of you guys have played poker enough to know how this goes. You want either pairs, 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind is even better, but super rare. You check, which is to say you don't put any more money in than is already in, or you can raise your bet. You fold if you think it's a little bit too rich for your blood, and that itself is something I'm going to talk about, because there doesn't seem to be any particular weight towards you winning, so you're really just playing essentially random cards, and honestly that can take a while. And so what I've learned is the other players have some AI associated with them, and they calculate their betting behavior based on how risky the bet is. And so if you have a lot of money, say about $300, and you go all in, all their AIs always calculate that it's too risky, and they will always fold. And so using that technique, you can kind of only play the hands. I kind of tend to only play the hands when I have something that looks good to begin with. Otherwise, I just go ahead and, bet the farm and let them all decide that they don't want to play. And that sustains me through until you can actually bet yourself out and not be allowed to play anymore. They'll have those various reactions as they play through. I'm not sure exactly what they mean, and it is worth noting that this doesn't work forever. Sometimes if people have an amazingly good hand, then they'll stick with their original bet, and if they're down to almost no money, then they'll stay in. Let's play one hand for real here, just because we've got a pair of 4s, and see if anything else comes up. It's not what I'd call a great hand, but let's discard all our other extraneous stuff. How we didn't really pick up anything. We're probably going to lose this, to be honest with you, unless nobody else has anything. Raise 35. Now that can mean either he's got something great or he's just trying to bluff. Shoot, all in, huh? Yeah, why not? We'll call. Nope, dude had 3 of a kind. Nasty. Anyway, I'm going to keep on playing the way that I said before, and I'm going to catch up with you guys again once I have won everything. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. As you can see, I have won all of the money that there is to win. And I actually even did it with a real hand at the end. That's at the 3 of a kind, 3 kings. You can either win all their money or lose all yours. And after that, they'll give you a clue. And I think that fits with the sort of spaghetti western feel. Deputy cursor, get out of there. With sort of the spaghetti western feel that we've had going with this playthrough. Just in that, I feel like, the even-handed cowpoke is typically a good poker player. And I like the idea of you just extraordinarily bluffing, and all of them are just way too nervous to even risk it. So far we've got 640 in there. We're gonna put in all our 598 again, and that means we're awfully close. Yeah, I think after this next job we'll have enough for the house to actually be able to afford that, and we'll be able to do it before killing or encouraging enough people and to get ourselves away from mistress. So our next setup is the old Rancher Bob wrestling cattle, or whatever, buffalo run. And we have done this from a number of different points of view. We've actually completed his quest before, but we've also done it on the side of the Beefhead Bulls, who we know have been hired by the Tycoon in order to try to ruin Rancher Bob. And let's talk to Miss Tress over here. She tells us that Rancher Bob's a good guy, but she doesn't know if he can handle the pressure. And he's having some troubles. But what happened here, Rancher Bob? And we might have the same problems. Well, fair enough on that one. And he's recruiting us for his run. It is true that if enough buffalo get killed, you don't get any money, which is correct. But we're going to say we're going to come help him later. So now we'll take our trusty, well, the trusty, I don't think it's really our trusty horse, over to the Oil Tycoons. Incidentally, if I started carrying around all 1,500, actually I think it takes 2,000 gold to do this, bandits will start attacking you on sight without waiting for you to approach them, which is just a neat little AI thing that they've got going here. So we know that the Tycoon's talking to his oil rig manager. And finally, the final mistress conversation. You know what? I'll step it up for you. If you ask him about the Oil Tycoon, she just says he's kind of got his head in his business too much. And I can provide, even though I've got this revenge plot going on. And alright, that gets us to go talk to her at the lodge. So we'll see ya. And we know how this goes. We ask him for a job, he says no. We pull our gun. He tells us to go see the bandits. I'm actually going to negotiate for the higher wage, even though I have no intention of collecting on it. It just feels right to me. So, last time we went to talk to the Beefhead Bulls, we convinced them that the Tycoon had sent us by simply saying that they had twice, and figuring that no man would be so bold as to lie twice, they let us into their confidence. But this time, if you say you know the password, then they'll never talk to you again, because they don't have a password, although it takes them a long time to realize it. If you ask how you can prove it, then they ask you to say who is it you're going against. It's Robert Johnston. Not Robert Johnson, not Richard Johnston. Wrong? Oh no, thank goodness. Bright Billy, let me know. And then he just tells us that they're gonna go and they're gonna try to drive off Rancher Bob. And now that we know that, we are finally able to have that conversation I've been talking about in the thread for like most of the LP, and get the sheriff on the side of good in what I will call a fairly dramatic fashion. So let's go, Sheriff. Are you ready to saddle up? True enough. I do. And as you could expect, he's not terrifically keen on this. The afterlife, huh? Now, people in the thread had asked me, is it ever good to cock the gun as opposed to just draw it? And in this one case... Yep, he actually responds well to the heightened tension. We are dreams of justice. You're darn right, Sheriff. And I could see why you would have that belief hanging around Westerado. It sure doesn't seem like people are particularly justice-oriented around here. But we are, by golly. We're gonna show them that we have what it takes. It's definitely not gonna be pretty, Sheriff. I did through some convincing. Alright, now that we don't have our tomahawks, this will be a bit easier. And again, he won't give you any reward if enough of these buffalo die. But man, do I like the rifle. I could have gotten them both if I had just lined it up better, but there we go. I don't think anybody's even lost a hat yet. Oops. I have to be careful about shooting backwards, as you might imagine, with this piercing weapon of mine, because I could take out most of the buffalo with a bad shot. There we go. Hey, very nice. I actually ended up shooting off Rancher Bob's hat with that. You know, honestly, if I could pick my gun, well, there we go. Thanks, Rancher Bob. $300, and I think that will be enough for the house. Do you indeed? Gray slacks and white shirt and tie. And he's skinny, that's a really good hint. Yep. Well, I understand, Rancher Bob. So, the sheriff's starting to believe in justice again. Oh, thank you. We've heard this before, tomorrow being the most important thing of life. Perfect when placed in our hands in hopes we've learned something and whatever. Yeah, I'll go enjoy my whatever. That's right. You know what? I am enlisting. Thank you for conscripting me. Defensive war, huh? I suppose. And I'm not worried about McCord because I'm taking their side in this whole situation. And we've heard this all before. She wants me to go to the haberdashery and do that escort quest. That's something else the sheriff will be able to help us out with, but for right now, we got something else on our mind. We are going to go and collect the rest of the money that we need. I'd like to retrieve basically all of it. And look at that, 15,038. Just over what we're going to need. And let's go see Miss Tress and finally do that thing that we've been waiting all LP to do. By which I mean buy a house. Let's make some hats. I wish you actually got a hat out of this, but whatever. I have had this bug out and have me appear at various places around the room, which is kind of funny. Let's see. Seam work. I'm sure that's some weird detail that I'm not sure about, but whatever. Well, I suppose it does. Cow pugs, huh? I've heard of cow pogs, but, yeah, it's timeshare. I hear that. I'd like to get it too. Sure do. You can, of course, just take this and run with it, but we actually do want the house. So let's go ahead and settle into our new digs. Hey, oh, nope, I need to talk to this guy. I'd like to buy a house. $3,000, and here's the cash. Investing in the world around you. Thanks very much. All right, let's go see it. Let's go settle in. See what we got going over there. I thought maybe he might have been somebody, but no, I don't think so. Here we go. The brush is finally cleared away. Looks like we got a little orchard. Chickens running to and fro. $90 in the corner. Kind of a nice little area in here. We got the wash hung up just like we used to have on the old farm. And here we go. This is ours now. I think that's great. So let's go back and see what Miss Tress has to say about all this. It'd be slightly faster riding, and of course we can ride to it, it being our home base. There's not really a whole lot you can do with it, improvement-wise or anything like that. If you go back and talk to these guys, all you can do is deposit money from now on. And since we don't have any real powerful need to purchase anything else in this playthrough, I think that'll more or less be that. Let's go. And she is sure enough following us. This is the only time we'll see her move unless we shoot somebody on screen and she runs away. You gotta wonder how many families and houses she's had over the course of her time. Although maybe she'll finally settle down. Maybe we'll be the kind of decisive... Oh, I guess that is the bank employee. Yes. Thank you. Stream in an orchard. It is a pretty nice place. I mean, considering the general scenario that we have going here. Oh, there we go. Guess who will? Yeah, sure enough. Aw, Miss Tress. And I already know all about all that. Alright, I'll come on back, miss. So there we go, we got a house, we got a, well, not a wife exactly, common law wife maybe eventually? That's probably the best you can hope for from Miss Tress. But there you have it, a little place of our own. Again, there's not a whole lot you can do with it, but that's fine. And I don't think that messes up the quest with the sheriff, even though that's ostensibly his wife. Nope, he's still feeling fancy about all the cool stuff we did recently. And I am ready to learn more about the murderer. And we gotta go either kill or imprison 5 bounties. So I'm gonna do the first one just because, you know, just to give us a refresher or whatever. This guy's found around the train station, so we'll just sort of pal around that area, see what we can find. And then that kind of looks like him there. I'm gonna get back out my tomahawk so I don't pierce through and hit any civilians. Fortunately, he doesn't leave the screen and fail you your quest. There we go. And of course, if they're alive, you just shoot off their hat and lead them back to the jail cell. So I'm going to be, going around and finding all the rest of those 4, and I will catch you guys back as soon as that is done. Hey everybody, I'm back, and I have taken out all of the bandits that I need, which means the sheriff is going to be happy with me. I sure did. I wanted to get some people alive, but they keep bugging out and not following me back to a horse. They just stand still forever somewhere. I don't think I really rounded up many. Anyway, light green bandana on his face. And he's looking for a new deputy or 2. So, that's all for now. And he just wants me to be on the lookout, basically. So, we do know some people that are kind of looking for work right now, especially after the last job kind of left them high and dry, to be honest with you. And yes, that is the Beefhead Bulls, the old Buffalo Beefheads. They are not, of course, super happy with me for messing up the old Johnson tip-over plan. It actually is 100% my fault, but whatever. I think they treat this the same as if you had tried to do the quest well and failed, so they're still kind of friends. And everybody's telling me he's skinny with the white shirt and tie. Oh well. Anyway, we're still kind of friends, but got an opportunity here. Well, how about that? 18 or so. Oil Tycoon, Bandits in the Mines, Graveyard, Ghost Town. Yeah, true enough. We're working on it. 500 long green leaf. Alright, you know what? We're 200 away from being able to bribe the Beefhead Bulls there. So let's see if we can't rustle up really quickly. Just the last little vanishing bit. And here it is. That's $70 more. Let's go down and give it to our friends, the Beefhead Bulls, and see if we can't get them signed on as law. There's actually one other thing you can do with these guys. Yep. There's rewards. Here's 500. There we go. Not sure this is the best idea for deputies, but it is the only one that works. As I was saying, there's one other thing you can do with them. When you go to, do the banker's job, protecting his carriage, you can actually hire them on for that, and then you'll get 2 Beefhead Bulls. You don't have to pay any money, the banker pays them, but they go with you and help protect the carriage. Yeah, sheriff doesn't know about these. Oh yeah, they're good fellas. Aw, sheriff. Yeah. Yep. Then we gotta talk to him again. You know what? There you go. You gotta pull the gun on him right there. This is kind of a delicate mission. Actually, it's easy to fail this and just be out 500. But very nice, huh? Sheriff's got his deputies, and so from now on, the Beefhead Bulls will be patrolling the town. We might have to leave first and come back for that to happen. But law and order is ascendant. The sheriff's feeling pretty sassy these days, honestly. You know what? They've been doing real good, and I think that they deserve some props for that. Anyway, that's all I needed for now. The only things we've got left are the main quest that we were going to do, and that's the army and Deputy Cursor, get out of there. That's the army and the ranchers. So let's see if we can sort of fulfill those both real quick. Let's go up and talk to Rancher Bob here, and we'll see what he wants next. We have done his first quest before. We have never done this second quest. So let's go see what he wants. Sure enough. You know what? That is the way of the West. In fact, Oh, you think so, huh? I am up for another job. Fair enough. A franchise, huh? An F-ranchise? Okay, sounds good, Rancher Bob. I'm in. Return the tycoon to the dirt from whence he came. We've already taken away his power in the form of the beefhead bulls. Not that he necessarily fully relied on them, you understand. But, so now we've got it. There we are. They're dapper deputies now. He sure knows how to delegate, I believe that. Let me just dump off the rest of my money here, considering we've got a big ol'... Yeah. Considering we've got a big old brawl coming up. So now we got 3 ranchers to get on board.